Hello, this is Lisa Starr, and welcome to a special episode of StarCast. Last week, 140 spa and wellness industry buyers and suppliers from across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa gathered in Sardinia for the We Work Well Spa event. We Work Well events always coalesce around a central theme, and this time the topic was energy. When you look up the word energy, one of the dictionary definitions is the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. Energy is more than a physical force. It is the fuel that drives motivation, innovation, and success. I mean, think about it. 13 billion years ago, a spark of energy created the Big Bang, which brought us all to where we are today, which is we're all working hard, but are we working smart? How much more could we accomplish if we only had the drive? As leaders, how can we harness the energy of our industries to inspire change, drive progress, and achieve remarkable results, positively impacting our employees, customers, and community? During our professional development sessions, we considered these questions on both a personal and professional level. We encouraged attendees to identify their own sources of energy and consider how their energy level impacts both their own performance and further the teams that they lead. Sources of energy can come from both internal and external sources. Internally, as humans, we turn to the body, emotions, mind, and spirit. But there are external sources also. Many cited everyday factors which give energy, such as the weather, nature, friends and family, and music. We also worked on identifying what drains our energy. Common themes here were lack of sleep, overwork, negativity, stress, and toxic people. Standing back and examining ourselves and our habits from this perspective gives some insights on how to create sustainable behaviors and set boundaries while enhancing productivity and vitality. After all, time is a finite resource, but energy is not. And through intentional self-management, we can learn to keep our zest high and avoid energy drains. So following are my conversations with 5 attendees of the We Work Well Spa EMEA event on their views on the topic and their tips and strategies for managing energy, both professionally and personally. I hope you enjoy the conversations and a spark is created for you. Hi there, here we are at the We Work Well Spa event, the first one of the year in Sardinia, and I'm joined by Alicia Parnell, who is the Director of Leisure and Tourism at Quab Park Hotel in Southampton, UK. So, Alicia, we talked today about energy, right? Our theme of the event is energy, and how are you using energy at work, and when is it good and when is it not good, and what were your takeaways from that?
So energy drives us to take action. So it starts from the top as the leader and reflects the whole team underneath you. So you're walking in with the fresh energy, even the smile, you've been in the sunshine, and that reflects straight away on the energy that's in the spa. And any negative energy that is within the spa, if there's any, it reflects then on your guests and reflects the room energy and how you perform that treatment. So it's always making sure that you're walking through that door, you're giving yourself a shake, and you're walking into that positive day. And today is a new day, regardless of what's happened before or outside of work, trying to leave all the troubles behind you and walking into a fresh start.
Well, that's a great outlook. I mean, how do you make sure your staff adapts that?
So it enhances like their performance and their energy around them. So it's making sure that you're all as one team unit and you're not individual. So it's working together within the team motion of the beginning of what the day looks like, how it's starting, what they have booked into their columns, and how they can reflect on preparation for that treatment. So they've not got any of the bad energy of, oh, I don't want to do this massage today. They know what they've got, so they can sort their energy from the start. Also having the crystals and the chakras and working with the balancing of the body, making sure that they're balanced before starting their own treatments. So that reflects onto them.
So it sounds like you feel like for you as the leader to make sure that they're set on their day helps them deal with the day better.
Yeah. So motivating them as well in being self-motivated. So knowing what they're walking into is quite important. If they've got a lot of workload, they know how to separate their day and how they're going to manage their day efficiently rather than kind of jump it all together and it then becomes oblivious as to the energy doesn't stay positive, it then becomes a negative. So it's making sure that they're prepared, efficient, and the workspace is then relaxed.
What do you do if the day is underway and you realize, oh, the team has low energy today? What can you do?
So there's always challenges, but I find first of all is support a mechanism and having the self-belief first, and also coming to their level, and supporting them to then maintain that level to get back up to where they need to be for that day.
What do you do to model good energy behavior?
So for me, my main thing is the smile and hello, how are you? First of all, how are they in a person, rather than what their workspace is, or no matter what their day is or what's in your day to work, is about how are you? How are you today?
That's a great tip. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Hi, so here we are with Darko Vasic, who is the regional manager for Charisma in Serbia. And Darko has some very good thoughts on energy.
So, hi. So when it comes to maintaining the high energy, I think it's crucial for affecting managing the staff, but also ensuring the positive, rejuvenating experience for the clients. But also constant energy helps in fostering a motivated team and enhancing the overall productivity of customer satisfaction. But also on the same side, low energy or the negative energy can lead to demotivated team as well as diminishing the client experience as well. Poor energy management example affects the team morale and can result in a lower productivity.
So what happens on a day when you come into work, Darko, and you feel that the energy is not where you want it? Do you have a strategy for that?
I usually don't have a strategy. I take it by the feeling, a case-to-case scenario, but I try to first talk to them and to see what I can do actually to change that around, because I think energy transfers from a person to person, and I try to actually transfer my energy to them as well, maybe through some actions, through the conversations with them, or maybe some workshops, or maybe some team building, or we just have a one-on-one talk sometimes. But I try to see what is going on and try to transfer my energy, because I usually try to come into work with motivation and some good energy, because I think it transfers to the other people as well.
So you were a therapist on the ships, right?
Correct.
That's how you got in the industry. What happens when you have a guest who has bad energy?
It does affect you a lot if you allowed it to yourself. I think with a lot of experience, I did 9 years with One Spa World on the ships and met so many people. And after sometimes you learn that you can't let people and bad energy affect you. So you have to kind of channel it to the other way and to see if that's something that you did actually to get that person to that energy, or is it just it shouldn't really affect you, to be honest. This is what I'm trying to say. I hope it makes sense. But usually the way I see it, like if I have someone around me, or if I have a guest, even now when I'm dealing with the complaints, and it's quite demanding guests, and they're not right. Unfortunately, guest is always right in one way, but you still have to not let it affect you that much. So it is your job. You do everything you can to fix the situation, but you can't let it affect you. I think you just surround your aura with a good energy and let it bounce it away from you. I always say, like, just go out from my aura and that's it.
Great. Thanks, Darko.
Thank you.
Hi there. So now we are with Verena Svinia Fox. Verena is a name everybody knows because she spent 20 years with Four Seasons, the last as a senior director. And I was lucky enough to have her living in Philadelphia with me, so we became friends. And Verena has lately gone out on her own, and she is the founder and CEO of VLF Spa Consulting. She's based in Europe now. But I thought she'd have great insight on this topic of energy. So, Verena, we talked about energy today. That's the theme of our event. Let's talk about your prior role as a manager of a huge team at Four Seasons. How did you use energy to motivate your team?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Lisa. Pleasure to speak with you and seeing you again.
You too.
In Four Seasons, I mean, the spas that I led, I really used the kick-off in the morning, the kick-off meeting, the morning briefing with my team really as an energy boost for my team. Some might have come into work with challenges in their private lives, and they needed a boost to get that energy that they wanted to transmit to their guests. So it was for me always important to set a tone for the day and I always did my best. That was my goal, to spark them up with energy, that they had something to look forward to into their day, and spread them a positive message in the morning, celebrate. I think that is something very important when it comes to energy levels and motivation, motivating a team, to celebrate the team and celebrate individuals, celebrate the team, and as well look out of what can we celebrate tomorrow by anticipating of what's coming ahead of the day, and to energizing them by saying, okay, let's today have this focus of trying to listen to our guests, to see how we can make their stay unique, special, so that the massage becomes more than just a massage. And at the same time, you need to follow up. If you just give that message, it's not enough. You need to follow up with them on the next day and challenge them and say, what have you done? Because that's when the motivation and the energy keeps off beyond just the meeting, where it's just words, but becomes an activity and an action that they can really then also be proud of them. And I think this feeling of pride, this feeling of, yes, I've done something, I've impacted someone's life, that is so powerful and is so self-rewarding. And I think by looking at ways that you can empower your team in taking action, that ultimately becomes a self-rewarding cycle, it is so powerful, and it really boosts energy, not just within one person, but within a team, because everybody gets excited about how things are being able to happen.
That's a great technique. I love the idea of celebration, right? It's positive, it's fun, it's uplifting. People always want to celebrate. So good. That's a great tip. So now you're not managing a big team. It's a team of one. Welcome to the consulting world. So
thank you.
Now, what do you do yourself to boost your energy? I mean, you're a mom with 2 young kids and, have a lot going on. How do you manage it?
So that's so true. Working on your own and as a consultant, there are phases when you travel, and there are big phases also when you're working from home remotely with your clients. And in those phases, it's very crucial. And I've really realized that in the first weeks that I need to set myself goals of how to keep my energies up, that I'm not getting down. Because what happens is sometimes when you get one message from a client, it can pull you down. But that isn't reality. That's like one message, right? That's not your entire life.
Right.
And so you need to find your own balance in order to keep your motivation up, which is now becoming a self-motivation. So there are different ways what I found out for myself that helped me. One is clearly the physical one, that is linked to exercising. For example, after lunch with my husband, we go on walk, half an hour, 45 minutes, and that's something that we have created as a habit, as a daily habit, because for us that's important. And it's also nice to see what's happening in nature, how nature changes, because I have never done that on a regular basis before, because when I was working in 4 Seasons,
no time.
There you go once around the block at the most. So here I'm living currently at the countryside, where I have really this connection to nature that is truly helpful. And nevertheless, in the fall, for example, let's say November to March, it was very gray. And I could really feel like these gray days that was not helping my energy and my mental health at the same time. So I bought myself a luminotherapy lamp. And I really must say, I feel the impact. I have some sun in my day. And that's, for example, one thing that I figured out is important for me.
No, me too. I probably need that lamp too.
And then balanced meals. I think that's another thing that for me, eating is a very key factor, because if you're not paying attention to what you eat, ultimately it reflects also on your energy levels and how you are. Not consuming alcohol every day, for example, is something. I'm drinking alcohol. I can have a cocktail. I can have a glass of champagne, love champagne, live in champagne, so that makes sense. But at the same time, there needs to be a certain balance of it. It can be some days, but not a regular thing every day. And I think for my body, I know that feels good when I have days I don't drink any alcohol, or even a week.
Right.
And I think that is very important to look at what you nurture your body with. Hydration, I think, is another thing. We here at We Work Well, and when you look at their guidance for the days. Drinking here, they say 8 glasses of water. I think that's very realistic and it's a good guidance.
And there's water everywhere, so you can do it.
Water is everywhere. And I think that for me, it's still water, room temperature. That's for me the best water that suits my body.
Thank you.
In order to help my body to stay hydrated and have a good feeling that keeps energies up. For the mental and emotional part of energy, I would say, what I mentioned already, goal setting is important. That I work towards goals that is helping to stay motivated and to also get this feeling, what I said earlier with my team, of self-rewarding. And you are able to achieve a goal or to accomplish a certain number of tasks in a day, keep it reasonable, but still that's a feeling of I've done something. And that's rewarding, and that's keeping, okay, let's have another great day tomorrow.
One success leads to another success.
Absolutely. Taking breaks, that's what I meant earlier, going on a walk. But it's also mentally important. It's not just the physical walk, but it's also the fact that you're disconnecting for a moment. Because as an entrepreneur, you could work from the morning 7 until the evening 11 o'clock, even worse than when you were working in a corporate environment. And I think that is important to also help yourself to stay balanced mentally and emotionally.
That's great advice, Farina, on all fronts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Hey, so now we're here speaking with Finley Anderson, who is the Area Spa and Leisure Director for IHG, many properties, mostly UK and Ireland. Finley, you oversee number of hotels and almost 100 people?
Yep.
And how do you keep energy? Like, what do you do about keeping energy up, or if you notice energy's low?
I think, with the team, just that common goal and knowing where we're going and what journey the spa's on, allows us to keep everyone focused, keep the energy up. And I think reminding us and, myself included, that we work in spa, we get up in the morning, we have people come and visit us that need wellness, that need relaxation, that have maybe had a hard time. And all we need to do is give them an amazing, magical experience, and they go home happy and we've done our job. So if we can't get our energy up for that in the day, then, there's something wrong, and we need to help each other. We work in wellness, so we should be taking care of each other and keeping that energy going. And I think, the therapists in our team do a hard job, and they give a lot of energy to the guests one-on-one. So it's everyone else's and my job and the other managers and spa directors to make sure that the team are energized, and we take care of them. We give them time, even just that breath work session, we're trying to do more of that across the spas, grounding between treatments and giving the girls the tools to take care of themselves, to re-energize themselves, to then give that energy back to the client. So it's been great discussing it the last couple of days, and just the little bits and pieces that we can do. And, the fact that we do walking meetings, that's very much, we've got one of our spas by Eastwood Square that's built in a square, and we do a square walk. If someone just needs that bit of something, a change of scenery, out in sunlight, a bit of fresh air, then we do the square walk, whether themselves or one of the managers go with them, and it's just, re-energizes you and you come in ready to go.
Well, I was struck by what you said about, all we have to do is create magical experiences. Like, that's so easy. I mean,
it's why we're here, and it's not, it's a wonderful job, and it's a tough job, but it's not working in a coal mine. It's, you get to make somebody's day. You get to see them leave smiling, happy, relaxed, re-energized, and that should motivate us, and it certainly motivates me, and that's why I moved to the industry and stayed in the industry, because that's what we do.
So how do you get your personal energy, Finley? What do you do for yourself?
I tend to, if I go to the gym before I start my day every morning, I get up, I get some natural sunlight, have a coffee sitting outside when it's not raining in Scotland. And then I get a 45-minute gym session, take my dog for a walk, and that's me. If I get that done, then I'm fine for the day, and I'm full of energy and not stressed, and that's it for me. And I think everybody needs to find their own, what it is, and you can't shoehorn yourself into certain things. You've got to just find. Some people it's treatment, some people it's sauna experiences, some people it's grounding and it's meditation. For me, it's just always been that sort of exercise session. And I think actually, since I've had a dog for the last few years, being out in the fields and walking and through forests, actually, I do notice that it starts my day the right way.
Well, it's, as you said, just good to know what you need, A, and then B, to do it.
Yeah. Make the time for it.
Thanks for sharing, Finley. So we're lucky enough to have Kay Pennington here. Kay was the longtime spa director for Center Parks and has recently gone on her own as a supplier. So she's here at We Work Well as a supplier, and her company does training and motivation for staff, which is a perfect fit with our theme of energy. So Kay, you were telling me about how energy is so important in everything we do in the spa. I mean, could you elaborate on that?
Of course it is, yeah. So the energy is the nucleus and the heartbeat, the soul of what makes a spa or a business successful. And obviously that oozes from the team. The team either generate energy, they regulate energy, or they disperse energy. And that energy is key to the success of your spa. So for example, you may have all the multi-million pounds of investments thrown at you. You may have a lovely shiny facility that looks spotless and you know all the newest latest innovations, but without the right heartbeats and the right soul and the right energy within that facility, then there's no success.
So when you walk into a situation where you're feeling the energy isn't right, you know, what are some things you can do as a leader?
Absolutely. So you can often detect if the energy isn't right because you can feel a disconnect, and you can feel that there is clearly an empty space, that it doesn't feel buoyant, it doesn't feel vibrant. Eye contact with team members. If you are tapped into it as a leader, from my personal background, you know, of being in the roles of my team and understanding how it ticks and how it operates, you pick up on it quite quickly, but you can also ascertain it through the performance, clearly, the guest feedback, and just general morale. You know, you know straight away if you have tapped into the right energy or not.
Well, you were a leader of a corporate team of many, many people. I mean, you moved from spa kind of up the ranks. Mm-hmm. So when you're not in the spa with the people, how do you then get a sense of what's going on in the team?
So I have a very strong ethos about presence. I recently wrote a chapter in a book about leadership, and presence is absolutely key because your team need to know who you are. Although even if you have a huge team, like for example, I had 800 staff.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. You need to be present. You need to make sure that you're not, or you're more just than a picture on a wall, or the bottom of an email signature or a monthly memo that comes out. You need to be immersed and you need to be involved and you need to be connected. So things like stepping into a morning briefing session or holding a Zoom call, and just ensuring that, again, that communication line is vibrant and it's fresh. You may not need to be in the operation every day, but that's where communication comes in, and also good leadership by example. So if you can educate and connect with your management team and teach them some really good techniques on how they can communicate, then clearly it will transcend down. And then what you find in the end is that it just breeds itself and it becomes a thing. Mm-hmm. And if you make it a thing and if you respond to energy and if you acknowledge it and if you speak of it and you make it known that it's actually a thing that is part of your day, it's a temperature check, it's a monitor that is just like on the rest of your tick list that you need to do for that day operationally. Testing the energy and the connection of your team should be on the top of that list.
It's the last challenge I want to ask you about. I feel like we want to have high energy, and yet our guests are coming in for relaxation. So how do we make sure we're not like transmitting energy? You know what I mean? We want to recreate relaxing environments, but we want to do it in an energetic way.
Of course. And I think that we rely on our greatest, amazing, I mean, we've got lots of them here at We Work Well. The training that we get from good product houses, also educates on how the treatment should be transmitted in the protocol. But the energy that we're talking about is that free, that the feeling to be free, and the feeling to be creative, and the feeling to transmit positive energy. I understand what you're saying about negativity, but that's the whole point about doing a debrief and having a shake off and addressing the feelings of where your team are at on that day. Even if it's just about having a board with 4 pictures on it, one resembling a low mood, one resembling a high mood, and getting all of your teams to stick their name in the space that they feel, so that even if you haven't had time to talk to them, you can still detect, okay, so we've got Rosie today. She's obviously put her name in the space of that low mood. We need to reach out to her today, and we need to connect, and we need to support her to be able to shake off her negative energy and convert it into positive.
I love that idea. Well, obviously you're full of them, and it's great that you're starting the Resilience and Power training business. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Again, clearly successful, as your turnover at Center Parcs was how much?
And the time that I was leading, it was in the region of 33 million.
Wow, so that's impressive.
Yeah.
With 800 on the team. Well, thanks again for the tips, Kay.
Thank you very much.